Oh no.
Hi, I'm Kathy from S.E.W.P.I.T, and welcome to Wicked Darkness. I'll be your host. Along with, I've got Rob. Want to say hi, Rob?
Hi,
I've
I'm
got
Rob.
I have Brian,
Whoa.
Hi,
and
Brian.
I
Hi,
have
Rob.
Debbie,
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Deb.
and I got Rich online,
Howdy.
and not to forget Leah.
Hi.
So, welcome. This is our first episode of Wicked Darkness with S.E.W.P.I.T. We'll be talking about different paranormal topics every week, from our own ghost hunting adventures to cryptids and much more. Once in a while, we'll have a special guest on from time to time. So stay tuned to the following weeks. It should be interesting. So now let's talk about how we got started in this adventure, shall we? Tell
We
us,
shall.
Rob, tell us how you got involved.
How I got involved in S.E.W.P.I.T is I actually knew somebody and that is no longer on the team. And I begged and pleaded, and then I got on the team and they fired me right away. And then I got hired back in. But as far as the paranormal goes, I mean, and got into the whole investigation thing, the short answer would be one day I turned on sci-fi and I turned on to a middle of the first season of an episode of Ghost Hunters. And I mean, I knew people did seances and Ouija boards, but I didn't know people actually investigated like that. And the first episode, I don't remember where they were, but I remember that the sound guy was walking around with his boom stand and his duffel bag hit him in the face. And I just was so intrigued. As far back as I can remember, I have been into horror movies. In the horror movies, I'd read about the horror movies, and then I would read about the books or the legends that came up to it, which got me into all the myth and supernatural and the ghost stories. And I would read the books and watch the movies. So that goes way, way back into the interest of the whole paranormal, cryptids, UFOs. I love all that stuff. And I've been in, like I said, reading books since I was a kid on it to this day. And I got the opportunity to be on the team. And I actually begged a lot to get on the team. And now I'm been here, I think we just discussed this, 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years.
8 years and still going. And I don't know. I love the investigating, and I still love all the paranormal and horror movies and all that goes with it.
Awesome. Well, Debbie, why don't you tell us how you got involved with us?
I've been with S.E.W.P.I.T for about 11 years. And before I joined S.E.W.P.I.T, I was with another paranormal group that is no longer in existence. And I was with them for about 3 years. So total about 14, 15 years into the paranormal. And I had my first UFO sighting a long, long time ago when I was in the 2nd grade. And nobody believed me, but there was this flying saucer that I saw, and I just ran with it. And so then I just started, reading about the paranormal. I did a book report in junior high about the Yeti, and I got a C, but I still enjoyed it. And now that I have been doing this for quite a while, I'm remembering things from my childhood that didn't make sense then, but it makes sense now. I believe my grandmother had a house that had somebody living there. I was always afraid to go in this one room. She had to basically pick me up and take me into this room to go to bed. And the minute the light was off, my head was under the covers because I was sure there was either something under the bed or in the closet. So it just had a weird feeling. And I never liked to go downstairs in the basement even though it was a nice finished basement, I always got the creeps going down there. So I've been doing, paranormal for a long time. And just recently I've been getting into Bigfoot. We went to a Bigfoot conference probably about a month ago now. And it was so interesting. And I'm hoping to possibly sometime go on a Bigfoot tracking expedition. So
Nice.
that's where I'm at.
Where would that be at? Would that be here in Wisconsin, or is that going to be somewhere like Oregon, like East Coast, West Coast areas?
I know they just recently had one at Kettle Moraine. I think FBRO was in charge of that. And I would love to go out to Oregon or Washington. So I'm going to do some research and see, what the cost is and this and that, and make it happen.
Okay. All right. Brian, how about you? You're new to us.
Yes, I am new to you. I've been with S.E.W.P.I.T for a year and a half, roughly.
Mhm.
Like Rob, I've always kind of had a fascination with the paranormal. From a kid, just like him, I've been fascinated with the horror movies and enjoy reading and watching about the paranormal. I wanted to get a little more involved with it. I got to go on my first hunt, if you want to call it, with a team from Minnesota at the Mabel Tainter in 2017, I believe it was. We saw 2 shadow people there, and I was absolutely flabbergasted by that. I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to learn why there is an existence of the paranormal. I like the idea of proving fact from fiction. And I found this team while looking for other teams, and Kathy and team actually gladly took me in. I am learning a lot from everybody and cannot wait to keep doing more investigations with them and keep learning everything that I can about it.
Awesome. How about you, Rich?
Well, okay. I've been with S.E.W.P.I.T for just over 11 years. I think I got here just before Debbie did.
Yeah, you guys are really close to the time period, like maybe
Yeah,
2 months.
We're kind of the originals besides yourself and Scott, I guess you'd
Yeah.
say. We've been holding the fort down.
Yeah, you have.
I don't know. I consider myself a skeptic. Sometimes maybe more than I should be, but
You
I
keep us
really-
honest.
well, I don't know if it's about being honest. I think it's just that you have to go with the facts and what's in front of you, and you have to stick with that. You can't have the gray area of trying to guess what stuff is sometimes. I mean, it's as fun as it is when we go on a ghost hunt or whatever we're doing, and we come up with different things and we start going off on a tangent on what things could be or what's this or what's that. Sometimes you have to just stick to, yes, no answers. So, sort of, instead of could be, couldn't be. I mean, you could do that all night long sometimes. We've come up with some interesting stuff. As far back as I can remember, I mean, wasn't real big into any of the horror movies or reading any of that stuff. I mean, as a kid, you do the things where you do things you're not supposed to do. We had some local establishments around here that would close, and we'd go in as kids and mess around, and some of the stuff was considered I don't know about paranormal or haunted, but kind of
There's
creepy,
no
creepy
illegal,
type things.
no illegal
I
stuff
won't
going
go into,
on.
I won't name names, but maybe in an area where there might be a Kmart now. Was probably one of the biggest things we did when we were kids and we weren't supposed to do, but there was some freaky stuff going on there, and it kind of piques your interest a little bit. I think I really got probably more interested or involved in it just, within the last, 20 years or so, when the shows started coming out. Because, back, I mean, I think we can all agree, it used to be, you didn't talk about stuff like that. People didn't believe you, people don't believe in ghosts. People don't believe in paranormal. They don't believe in that stuff. So,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was kind of
something-
like
it
the
was some-
taboo.
Yeah, it was something cool to, dabble in, or like you said, like you guys were saying about watching the horror movies and all this and that. But until the TV show started coming out, and I think more people watched it and maybe understood a little bit more about the science of it with the different type of equipment that's used. I think that's what got me interested more than anything is seeing that other people were doing it and how they were doing that
Mhm.
and the different things. I think the biggest thing that gets me are always the EVPs, because if you don't, everybody can have a personal experience and say, oh, we saw a shadow, or did you see that, or I was over here and I heard that.
Right.
But when you have that recording of something, that whether it's a group of people somewhere or yourself, and you're asking questions, or you didn't hear it, but you clearly have something on a recorder that you did not hear, that's just that blows my mind sometimes. And those are some of the things that, even being a skeptic, I can't disprove sometimes. Sometimes we don't always know what it says, but I think we've been lucky enough in our time that we've been doing this, that we also have a lot that are pretty crystal clear. And
Yeah, we've been kind of lucky that way. You're right.
it's unbelievable sometimes, but I look forward to moving forward in the future with S.E.W.P.I.T, and I think we have a good group. We've always had a good group. It's just sometimes the faces change a little bit, but I think the group we have now, I think everybody does a good job. Everybody has a good head on their shoulders. We have a mixture of skeptics and believers, and some guys are real tech savvy, or girls, and the other ones are just more workers,
Right.
hands on, want to get in and do everything. And I think you have to have a group like that. You can't have all one type of personality or person. You have to have a mixture for it to work. So
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. All right, Leah, our one of our newest people that have joined our team. How about you tell us a little bit of how you got involved?
Hey, I'm Leah. I've been with S.E.W.P.I.T for 4 months,
Yeah,
maybe.
about that 4 or 5 months. Yeah.
Um, this this group has been a group that I sort of stalked for about 2 years or so.
Stalked. Wow.
Met the group way back when they were doing a paranormal conference, and kind of watched from there. Being in this field has been interesting to me. I've grown up watching horror movies. I'm pretty heavy into the community theater world and film world, and really kind of enjoyed how horror movies are made and the backgrounds of them. Hence is why when I watch a horror movie, I rarely move or get scared, because I probably figured out how they did that special effect and it doesn't really bug me, but it's still fun. You would find me as a teenager up through into my 20s at haunted houses every October, because I'd be an actress of some sort in some sort of haunted house and loved scaring the crap out of people. It was much fun for me. Loved building the haunts. That was always something I enjoyed doing. Then I started watching Taps when that started coming out, and the old Jason and Grant team that was going out, and I was watching them. And that's when I noticed my skeptic portion of my body coming out, going, well, there's probably a film guy back there. There's probably sound. Who's got the boomstick? Did he run into something? Who went down the hall and slammed the door? That can't actually happen every single episode. So I started getting really questionable with that, while at the same time being a huge believer. I just haven't had many experiences to draw off of to say that I'm a big believer. I just am. And it's just one of those things I've always believed in. I've always believed in spirits. I've traveled to places that are on my bucket list, like Gettysburg and Myrtle's Plantation and Waverly Hills. Been out to the sanitarium in North Dakota, and just really enjoyed just going to these different places. But I've always wanted to find a group to join. And I'm married to somebody who is a little bit more of a sensitive, and he does see a lot more and feel a lot more than I do. And typically when I say I want to go check a place out, he goes, absolutely not. Not going to, not messing with that. I see more than you. You don't understand how it feels. I'm not going. So I typically don't have anybody to go with. So as I followed this group and enjoyed what they post on websites, I thought, well, one day I can maybe jump in. And they were happened to be taking some applications recently. So I said, pick me. And they did. So I'm here and got to do at least one investigation so far. We had some really cool outcomes there. So I'm looking forward to our next round.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that we were able to have our stalker finally join us. I just think that's funny that you call us like, the team that you stalked. Well, I guess that just leaves me. So I'll make mine short and sweet. You guys all heard my story, but obviously the other people haven't. Mine started when I was really little, and I was at a Girl Scout outing, my first Girl Scout outing as a little kid, a little brownie. And I lost my grandmother recently at that time. And I woke up to seeing my grandmother's face on everybody that was at the outing. And I kind of terrified my troop leader. And my troop leader said, I'm calling your parents and you need to go home because you're scaring everybody. So after that, that was kind of like my first experience with the paranormal. And it kind of piqued my interest. And I kind of stayed away from it for a little bit. And then my parents bought a house when I was about 12 years old. And we were told that a man had died in the house. And yeah, he still hung around the house and he didn't want to leave. And he ended up making himself known to myself, my mother, some of my friends. And then one day, my friend and I were in the living room and my parents were gone because I'm an only child. And so I was not able to blame it on any siblings or anything like that. And we had a cat that was right there by me. And we heard some walking upstairs in the attic area. And we thought maybe somebody had broken into the house, and we ran outside. And because we're two teenage girls that should, be a little scared. Not that I live in a bad neighborhood. It was just that you never know who's going to break into your house. And so we went outside and we looked up into the attic window area to find a full body apparition staring back at us. And that really scared me. But then it also piqued my interest some more. Like I needed to find out what I saw. And so all through high school, I kind of got a little bit more like reading the books, watching the movies, stuff like that. Cause the movie portion of it was the hokiness. And then all of a sudden, like you guys said, there was like this turn of events where all of a sudden Taps was out there and they had all these paranormal shows on and everything. And I was sitting at work one day and as an adult, and I just could not get rid of this nagging feeling that I needed to start a paranormal group. Not because of the teams that I had seen on TV, but just because it was just nagging at me. Like somebody is saying, you have to do this. And, going on our 13th year this year, obviously it's stuck. So, yeah, it was just one of those things. And so here we all are. My little thing is telling me that we're running out of time, but we got a few more minutes. So where do you guys see us going with all this? Do you guys see us going with like doing our investigations? Do you guys want to see that when we're doing our episodes? What are you thinking on this?
I would definitely like us to review investigations, past and ones that we're going to be going on, because we're going on a few.
Mm-hmm.
But even to, have episodes where we discuss famous hauntings, or even into, episodes on UFOs or different cryptids would be really interesting, because like the Bell Witch has always been interesting to me, or Skinwalker Ranch. So especially just even with the team events, I mean, that's a lot of episodes right there. Hence it is a S.E.W.P.I.T podcast.
That is true. That is so true. Well, I think next week we're going to talk about some of our favorite haunts. So, think about what your favorite haunts are, and we'll bring that into the guests that are going to be listening next week. Hopefully, we'll have some more people that will be listening. But for now, we're going to say goodbye. This is the first episode. So, we're just introducing ourselves, but this is going to be one of many episodes to come with Wicked Darkness. So I'm your host, Kathy Poltrock, and we will see you next week.
Bye.